Patents. Patents are the only mechanism for protecting technical ideas. Patents are property, they have value, and investors like to see them. Patents are a negative right, i.e., they detail what cannot be done by others. In general, the legal part of a patent grants a monopoly right lasting up to 20 years from the date of filing. However, you have to disclose your idea to the public. Patents are also country-specific. The paper part of a patent gives a detailed description of the technical aspects of your idea. It's also a definition of what cannot be done by others, and it must detail the names of the inventors. It can be viewed as a social bargain. The state grants a monopoly right, but you have to disclose your idea to the world. This gives you exclusivity in a defined technical area and a chance to recoup your investment. In return, you have to pay some fees to the state, and all of this stimulates innovation. Patentability. So what can be patented? The answer is nearly anything technical. This may include products, for example, molecules, materials, or new compositions; apparatus, for making, purifying, or extracting; methods, for example, synthetic methodology, process steps, or treatments; and uses, such as drugs or paint strippers. The new idea must be novel, it must be non-obvious and involve an inventive step, and it must be capable of industrial application. For something to be regarded as novel, it must pass an absolute worldwide novelty test. This includes anything made available to the public anywhere. This is called the prior art. This may include published documents, posters, and lectures, amongst other materials. In order to anticipate a claim, all of the features must be present in a single document. Disclosure. The invention must not have been made available to the public in any way, at any time, anywhere. This is very important. This can be guarded against through imposing a confidentiality disclosure agreement. For a new invention to contain an inventive step, the invention must not be obvious to a person who is skilled in the art. The person skilled in the art is able to read everything, he can speak all languages, he can make routine selections, overcome routine problems, and does not make inventive leaps. An invention may be inventive if it has an unexpected or surprising result, it was not obvious to try or non-routine, it overcomes a technical problem. There are several important exclusions from patentability in the UK and Europe. These include methods of medical treatment and diagnosis, computer programs, mathematical models, presentation of information, and methods of doing business. A patent attorney often avoids these. It's worth noting that there are no restrictions in the USA. Inventorship and ownership. The inventors are the actual devisers of the invention. Ownership may depend upon the relationship of the inventors and any other parties involved. For example, a business or company normally owns the intellectual property generated by its employees, and this is normally set out in the employee's contract. This is also the case at a university. However, students are not employees, and a separate agreement will need to be reached between the universities and the students. The patent may be invalidated if the inventors and/or the owners are not correctly identified. Freedom to operate. Your patent stops others from using your intellectual property, but does not allow you to use it yourself. To use your own patent, you may need to use something which is covered in the claims of somebody else's patent. For example, if Patent 1 covered the wheel and Patent 2 covered the push bike, the owner of Patent 2 must ask permission to make his bike. You therefore may have to license, buy, or attack the other patent to gain the full potential from your invention. Alternatively, you could invent around the other patent. The patent procedure is very complex. At 0 months, or your priority date, you would draft and file your UK patent application. At 0 to 12 months, or your priority period, you would develop your idea and find additional funding. At 12 months, you would consider overseas applications, and you would file for a PCT application, which covers many countries. At 18 months, your patent would be published, and a search report would be generated. At 12 to 30 months, you will continue to develop your idea, and you must find additional funding. At 30 months, action is needed in every country, and at greater than 30 months, your patent would undergo examination in each jurisdiction. At greater than 40 months, your patent would be granted and published again, and then you have to pay annual renewal fees for the 20-year lifetime of the patent. The typical anatomy of a patent includes a title, which is usually uninformative, an abstract to help patent searchers, and then a description of your idea, which would include some background information of what is already known, some generic statements defining the invention, and then a detailed description of the invention with reference to drawings and experimental data. There would then be some figures if they help you to explain the invention, and then the claims, which are as broad as possible to define the full scope of the protection in the patent. Patents are property, and they have value. Imagine your patent is like a house. You can live in your house or commercialize your intellectual property into a new product. You could take in a lodger or license your intellectual property to a third party. You could let out your house or give an exclusive license of your intellectual property to a third party, or you could sell your house or assign your intellectual property to a third party. Investors typically look for effective patent protection because this gives them security against competition from third parties. It also gives them reassurance that they will see a return on their investment. They also look for freedom to operate because this gives them assurance that third parties will not be able to stop you from entering your marketplace. And this too gives them reassurance that they will see a return on their investment. They also look for proper entitlement of inventorship, as this gives assurance that no one else can claim the intellectual property or invalidate the patent, and this also gives them reassurance that they will see a return on their investment.